As promised, I told you I would come on today and give you a little bit of a recap of what happened during this Whole30. So if you've been following me from the start, you know that I was doing this because I was having an Hashimoto's thyroiditis autoimmune flare. And while I feel like I got rid of most of the symptoms from that disease activity, I still haven't completely gotten rid of them. So I'm going to kind of continue doing a Whole30-like diet for a little while, and I do believe I'm going to go onto Autoimmune Paleo AIP in May to really just kind of really get that to that level that I want to be at. So in terms of energy level, for example, when I first started this Whole30, I would say if you go from a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is kind of meh, really tired, and 10 is feeling fantastic, like you could take on the world, have constant energy all day long, I would say I started around maybe a 5 or 6 every day with some 7 or 8s in there. Now at the end of this, I would say I'm definitely more at the 7 or 8 level every day with some 9s in there. After I did Autoimmune Paleo for that whole entire year and really got my Hashimoto's into remission, this is back in 2014, I was at 10 every day. So I want to get there, and that's why it's hard for me, because I feel like I'm not selling Whole30 very well because, hey, I'm not hey, yay, I'm so excited. I'm doing much better than I was when I started, but I'm here and I want to be here. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and continue to do this so that way I can get here. Do you remember this? This was my symptom worksheet that I started off with. And this is what I wrote down before I started the Whole30 of all the things that I was experiencing. These were Hashimoto's flare symptoms, and these could have been also adrenal fatigue symptoms, which I think go kind of hand in hand with me, and any other negative things that were happening to me. So I'll just recap what I was experiencing. So I was having heart palpitations. Still have those a little bit, but definitely not at the level that I was having them before. I was having them every day, several times a day. Now I have them a little bit, but not maybe every couple of days, and just for really short episodes. I have gotten checked out by a cardiologist too. I do have a genetic heart defect, and it's not related at all, but I do have a cardiologist that I do see regularly, so I know that I'm okay with them and that she totally believes it's Hashimoto's related. I was also having hypoglycemic episodes all the time. These are blood sugar, where your blood sugar goes up and then goes down really far, and then you get cranky. It's called hangry. Sometimes you call it bonking. You just feel shaky and you just are really irritable and just not happy, and those have completely gone away. Brittle nails, that one's a little bit harder to figure out right now. My nails have grown back out again. They were breaking really easily before this. They don't seem like they're breaking as easily, but they're still not completely where I want them to be either. Dry skin, oh, that one's completely gone away now. When I first started this, I had rough skin on my knuckles here and my hands and just all over, and that, nothing at all. It's great now. I had adult acne. I had a whole section of my face here that was breaking out, and I got one little pimple that seems to have stayed the whole time, but other than that, it's been so much better. My periods were about approximately a 24 to 25 day cycle. I did get it up to 26 days this month. I definitely want to keep that going to closer to 28, but periods and the whole menstrual cycle take a long time with those hormones to actually regulate, so 1 month is really not going to do too much in that. I'm just happy with that, and it didn't feel like it was as heavy, and I used to have a lot of spotting in between, and that was definitely a lot less this time. Before I started this, I had a lot of brain fog, and that's pretty much gone away. Feel a lot better about that now. Before I started this, I had a hard time sleeping through the night, and I'm still having some little episodes of not sleeping so well, but it's gotten so much better. I did usually take magnesium before this, and I stopped taking the magnesium every night prior to bed just because it had xylitol in it, and I couldn't take that. But I will be taking that again, and hopefully that will really help my sleep just be, perfect like a rock. I was having a hard time waking up before this, and I'm still having a little bit of a hard time waking up, but it's gotten a lot better. I can feel my cortisol levels rising in the morning, whereas before it just I had to wake up and I felt like I was rolling out of bed. Now I can feel it's getting there where I'm waking up and I want to wake up, yet I'm just still not wanting to get out of bed so much. I don't know if that's kind of the same thing. Before this, I was tired pretty much every afternoon, so that's my adrenal fatigue symptoms coming back, and that's pretty much gone away. I had that sore throat every day, which was probably like a sore thyroid, like swollen thyroid kind of thing. I haven't had that in a while. I did have a little bit after skiing, but that, I taxed my adrenals that day, but that quickly went away. I was irritable a lot, and I think that goes with the blood sugar, and that's gone away too. I was pulling out my eyebrows, that like trichinosis, I forget the exact name of that thing. It's a actual like kind of anxiety kind of related thing that you do, and I was doing that a lot, and that's gone away now too. Major sugar cravings, haven't had those recently at all, which has been great. Persistent cold symptoms, like I had not quite a sinus infection level, but runny nose and morning congestion is what I said. And I still have some allergies, but I can definitely tell they're allergies. They go away, they come back, and it's, it's spring here, so that's pretty typical for me. I got to the point when I went on AIP that I got rid of all of my allergies. So I think that's another reason why I want to do the AIP thing. But I'm much happier with this whole like cold thing, because like I was waking up feeling really congested and feeling like I had a cold, but I don't feel that way anymore. Also gas and bloating. I had a lot of that, and I still have a little bit of that. So that tells me that I probably am still eating something that's not exactly agreeing with me, probably lends to like me having leaky gut, or just, I'm eating something that I just need to remove from my diet for a while. And then a lot of people have asked me about my weight, and actually I stepped back on the scale this morning and I had started at 171.8. And when I went back on this morning, I was at 170 even. So I only lost 1.8 pounds. I didn't measure anything beforehand, like, with a tape measure or anything, and I probably should have, but my pants are feeling a lot looser now, so I feel like I lost inches maybe, but weight's never been anything that I've been overly concerned about. Usually for me, once I get the inflammation in my body under control and get all the symptoms taken care of, then the weight kind of falls off. But I'm like 164 is usually where I am when I'm like really strict paleo, AIP, that kind of thing. So I'm not that far off, like maybe 6 pounds or so from like my lowest weight. I'm 6 feet tall, so I mean, hopefully that puts that in perspective. But it's just, I'm not concerned about that at all. Like I feel great. I feel like I don't look nearly as bloated and like I was pregnant all the time or anything. I feel like my stomach's flatter. So that to me makes me a lot happier. Yeah, just in conclusion on this, I think it was well worth it, doing this 30 days. And the reason I'm doing autoimmune paleo in May is just because I want to be at that highest level and to feel like my absolute best, to feel fantastic rather than great. And, it's just perfectionist in me, but it's also because I feel like there's some room for improvement, some stuff that I still need to do. And so I'm gonna work on that. And I'll be recording vlogs like this in May while I do AIP, so if you wanted to see what that's like, it's a lot stricter. You can't do nuts and seeds and chocolate and coffee and eggs and a bunch of other things, but it is so effective. So I will be sharing that with you. And then for the next month, I'm going to try to stay as close to Whole30 as possible, but I'm going to introduce some things like Whole30 compliant treats that you weren't like, the spirit of Whole30 kind of things, like plantain chips that you can buy from a store. Or I'm gonna make the empanadas that I love that are using Whole30 compliant ingredients, but are not compliant on a Whole30 because it's like a treat, or, they call it food without breaks or kind of thing like that. I'm just gonna do that for the next month. It's basically gonna be like strict paleo, but I'm really gonna try to limit the honey and the maple syrup. I don't really wanna get back on that whole blood sugar roller coaster again. AIP does allow to like these sweeteners, but I'm going to, try my best to not really do that much. Like just, I'm not gonna glob the maple syrup on top of pancakes, but I may eat some things that have sugar in them, like some salami that has dextrose or something. I'm just not gonna be as strict as I am on a Whole30, but still gonna be pretty strict. And if you have any questions or anything, just comment below. I'll make sure I get back to you on those. And I may be taking a short break from this vlogging thing. I don't know. We'll see how I feel over the next few days. I am getting my AIP coaching certification, so I'll be a little bit busy with that. But I do want to share what I've been doing post Whole30 as well. So just keep on lookout for new videos, and I'll see you later.